Hi, my name is Sage, and this week I want to make a two-headed snake out of clay and put these little guys on a fake moss base. So that's what I'm gonna do this week. And to start, I'm going to need a wooden base and some tin foil. Then I rip some off and fold it up hot dog style, before then scrunching it up and wrapping it around my fingers. This will be the tail end of the snake. Next, I get another piece of tin foil, fold it up hot dog style like before, and then scrunch the two ends together to make the midsection to the neck of the snake. I repeat the hot dog fold and scrunching technique yet again, before then wrapping this piece around the neck, as this will be the starting of the two heads. And here I am adding more tin foil from the tail end to the midsection to give the snake some more dimension. I then scrunch some tin foil around both the heads to thicken them up, and now it's clay time! I then cover the tin foil with a layer of clay. I didn't think that it would cause the snake to slump so bad, so now they just look sleepy, so I decide to roll with it. So now that it's covered, I then spend my time smoothing the snake out with my stylus in my hands, just switching between the both, all while adding more clay where it's too thin, until it looks like this. Next, I'm going to make some horns. And you may be thinking, Sage, snakes don't have horns. But these are my snakes. Or I guess that they would be worms. But whatever, I'm still gonna call them snakes. And I made a boatload of them. Next, I put the horns on the snake. I place them sporadically down its spine. And why do I do that? I just think it looks cool. And I use my ball stylus to really meld the body and the horns together so that they will be super adhered once I put this in the oven to bake. And once all the horns on the spine are put on, I realize I still have a fair amount left, so I decide to give them head horns too. I randomly place them on the heads. Whatever looked good to me was the way that I was going. Oh, and also, on the lower head, I end up only giving it 3, but I do fix that later on and match it to the first. I then cut a cardboard straw on an angle, and this will be how I make the scales. I will press it into the snake's body with the straw to make the scale imprint. Then I will continue down the entirety of the snake until it looks like this. And now it's time to work on the snake's faces. So to start, I poke in some eye sockets with my ball stylus. Next, I roll on some tiny spheres before then placing them in the sockets on each head. These will be the eyes. Or will they? Foreshadowing, ooh. I then make some slits in the eyes, but I do end up hating them, so I redo everything I just did. But then I get distracted, and y'all are coming along for the chaotic journey. So now I am fixing the shape of the one's lower head because it needed some extra love. Here I add on the horns that I talked about before. Then I go back to fix the lower one's face. Next, I use my pointy stylus to make some nose holes, and I do the same on the other side off screen. Then I go back to fixing his face yet again. Then I decide to go back and add some more scales because why not? And now I return to making the eye slits. The first one I like, the second one I hate, so I redo it for a third time. I smooth it out and then add more clay to it before then accepting the third one's outcome. I then etch out the outer parts of the eyes. I don't know why I did that, but I did. With the same pointy stylus, I carve out a sleepy smile. And I did the other one off camera. And this is what they look like before I put them in the oven to bake. And this is what they look like after. And now that they are cooled, I move on to painting the base. And with the power of editing, it's painted. And remember the chaotic journey from before? Well, here's another one. I ended up painting these little guys with blues, reds, and purples, and well, I hated it. But that wasn't gonna stop me, so I decided to paint it white and start all over. And I painted it white so that I could have a fresh base to paint it green. And I'm not too concerned with getting every nook and cranny because I got somewhat of a plan. And the first part is to do 2 layers of the green paint. And after 2 layers of green, it still isn't looking perfect, but step 2 is going to fill in some of the white spots. I'm going to paint every bottom part of the scale red again. This was definitely the most time-consuming part. However, since I can't seem to focus, I go on some more journeys and I start to paint all of the back horns red. Was it part of the plan to start painting the back horns red now? No. But did I? Yes. And why? I don't know. It's just part of the creative process, I guess. Then I think I'm going to paint the rest of the scales red before doing anything else. But no, I go on another side quest. Now I'm filling in random red parts with pink paint in the middle to give it some more depth. And you would think that that's enough side quests, right? Wrong! Then I start to paint the tips of the head horns pink as well, because why not? I then lock in for a little over half of the snake by continuing the madness of painting the underscales red, then filling in random spots with pink, before then going completely off track and painting random scales in a lighter green color. Also, don't mind the remote randomly popping in. I like to have stuff on in the background. Usually it helps me focus, but not this week. And then I get completely derailed again, and then I start painting the eyes the light color green as well. I then continue to volley painting the underscale red, the pink highlights, and the light green scales until finally it looks like this. And now it's mostly just touch-ups. I repaint both of the heads with another layer of green, before then going around the body and filling in random scales with different shades of green to bring it to life, until eventually it looks like this. So now that they are painted, it's now time to glue some moss onto the wooden base. This isn't the moss that I typically use. I usually use stuff from the dollar store, but they were all sold out, so I had to get my fake moss from somewhere else. But it still does the job, and that's all that matters. Next, I place the little guys on it. So now I can then glue some fake sprigs from this dollar store plant all around them. And since we're coming up to the end of the video, I would like to say thank you so much for watching, and if you want to follow me on any other socials, the links are in my description. And now it's on to the glamour shots.